Hello, it's Bob Pandolfo, and I'm going to go over a couple of horses that are my best bets today on Thursday, March 31st, 2022. And the reason why I'm showing these horses, sometimes when I'm handicapping for the public and for myself, basically I do the whole card every day at the New York tracks. And sometimes, certain races, there's only one possible horse that I could pick as my top pick. And it's not necessarily a horse that looks that good. It's just this is the way I think. This is the horse. Now is the horse going to win? Maybe not. Both these horses I'm going to show you may run up the track for all I know. But the thing is, I couldn't pick any other horse because there's certain things about these races. And if I was going to key horses key a horse in exactas, these horses would be the horses. Now. That doesn't mean I wouldn't use some other horses in pick threes, but I'll explain that in a minute. But let's go to the third race at Aqueduct. And here you can see it's a 1 mile maiden, 25,000 for New York breds. So you go through the field. The one horse doesn't look that good. The two is a consistent sort who's kind of coming around. Probably raced okay here. The three didn't do anything in debut, but takes a big drop. Some people may think this is a good long shot because it's a high percentage trainer. They're adding blinkers, and this horse did show some speed and collapsed, and that was a pretty good field. So now this is a big drop. So that's one of the horses that could possibly wake up here. Joshua Wickosity is kind of coming around a little bit. Lord Brownie has been racing okay at the 25,000. He finished second at the $25,000 level. So it's not like this is a race where you can actually eliminate a lot of horses. It's actually pretty wide open. Regal Empire doesn't look too good, but could possibly improve off the claim. And then we're going to go down. I want to go down to this horse, the 9 horse Nova Loves a Fight. We'll probably take money here. This horse did improve in last, and as you can see, went from a 35 speed figure to a 74. Now he has Lasix and has a couple more workouts, and this last workout is good. So this horse, has got a chance here. Another horse I think has a chance at a price is Disengaged. As you can see, first time tag, changing barns, picking up Franco, one of the top riders in New York, shows 4 works for this. I think that Disengage is one of the few horses in the race that has early speed, proven early speed, where he can actually get to the lead. And that's probably the horse to catch. So now we're going to go to, and here's Regal Empire first off the claim. Doesn't show much though, but we're going to go to the horse. This is the horse I picked, Lucky Mucho Man. And again, this is the only horse I could possibly pick in this race. It just jumps out at me, not because the horse looks like a lock or anything. He actually is going to probably be somewhat of a long shot, but horse is bred for speed. Starts his debut on February 12th. It's a slow race, but the conditions a lot of times during the winter at Aqueduct, a lot of the races are slow, so that's hard to figure out a lot of times. He got into a duel, a pace duel. You can see he's right there with the top 2 horses. So it was like a 3-way speed duel. Not a very fast pace, and then he tired, and that was on February 12th. So they gelded him since then. You can see the G here, first time gelding, and now they're adding blinkers. The horse had a good foundation of works coming into his debut. So now there's a few things here. First of all, he's probably going to improve second time out. He did show some speed, so he showed that he can run a little bit, which is always a good sign. He just didn't trail the whole way. He might improve because he's gelded, and he might improve in blinkers. And then you look at all the works; they're all slow. Slow, 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 slow. And then you look at his last work, 48 and 2. That's his only good work on his entire work tab, which is an indication that they may have worked him in blinkers, and that may have helped. Plus, being gelded may have helped. I like that Lascano rides back. So this is the horse that could step up today. Now again, there's other horses. Now, as far as keying the horse, if I was playing exactas, yes, I would key this horse first and second in exactas with a few horses. If I was playing pick threes, though, I actually would include several horses here. I think Bohemian Lucky is probably going to run pretty well here. He's coming around, and Lord Brownie is another horse that has run well at this level. I wouldn't bet this horse to win in a straight bet, but I could see including this in pick threes. And then the other horse to worry about, I think, is the 8 and the 9 both have chances at a price. The 8's probably going to go to the lead, and some people would throw in the 9. So I don't think I'm going to play pick threes, to be honest with you. But there are horses here you could use to take shots, because I think the 8's a possible long shot too. But regardless of all that, even though it's a pretty competitive race, this is just the way my mind thinks. This is the horse. This is the horse that I want to pick on top. That I want to key. Blinkers, gelding, second time out, should improve work. So it's just the way my the owner Patricia Generazio has been in the business a long time. So now let's go to my other horse. And this one's a little more obvious, but again, this horse just jumps out at me as the only horse I could pick in this race. It's the same type of race except for it's 6 furlongs, maiden 25,000. It's a slow field in the 9th race. The 2 horse did flash a little speed here, might improve. The 3 horse adds blinkers after showing speed. Probably has a chance to wire this field. And then the horse to beat, and this is what makes this race interesting, because the morning line favorite is Boom Boom Kaboom. And you can see the Boom Boom Kaboom is 0 for 23. And the thing is, it's not like he doesn't try. He's a 5-year-old horse. And he tries, look at all. He never runs a bad race, really. I mean, all these races, going all the way back to this race on turf where he finished second, he always runs well. He's trying. The only thing is, he always gets beat by somebody who's a little faster than him. Because he just isn't that fast. He can't run to par. Like if you look at the par time, is an 81. See the par time here, and if you look at him, look at his dirt races. He's a 78, 75, so he's running below par, but because the fields are weak, he's running second and third a lot. He ran second by neck at this level, and then his other shot at this level he lost by a length. So that's kind of what you want to take a chance at. And one of these days he's going to win. He may even win today. Going down, there's not much in it. This field is not as competitive as the other race I showed, the 3rd race. There's not a lot in this race. I think Boom Boom Kaboom will run well, and I think the 3 horse is the one to catch with a good speed rider. And the 10 horse here, Boyne in the back, has decent figures. I mean, I look at my here's my Formula Pro, and you can see that the 10, is ranked 3rd. So Boom Boom Kaboom's on top, and Limit Up is 2nd. So I'm going to show something about Limit Up. Now this is the horse. This to me is the only horse that I could pick. Again, I handicapped the races like this is the horse. First time tag. There's a couple of things about this horse. Here he's on the rail, and he's in a 3-way duel. See, dueled with pair. Look at the pace. 102, 107. Right? You got to remember, this may not look fast, but this is Aqueduct winter. It's a winterized, slow track. And so, yeah, even though it doesn't look fast, yeah, this was fast. Because a lot of times you'll see these New York Reds running, 6 furlongs and 114 or 115. 102, 107 he ran in debut, and he was pinned, he was in the inside too. Then he comes back on March 5th, and he gets bumped. See, bumped between horses at the break, so he doesn't get out. He doesn't show that speed. And then he kind of loses interest and he doesn't do anything. So after this race, this was a disappointing race. I'm sure they were looking for him to improve a little bit. So naturally, they're going to drop him in for a tag. But he's early in a weak field here. And he was in much better fields his first 2 starts. He gets Trevor McCarthy back, who's a good rider and a good speed rider. He's won 2 races for Caceres, as you can see here, 50%. So I think this horse is going to lead before he plays and against this weaker field. Now I want to show you a couple of things here. Now let's look at my power pace. On power pace, this adjusted E2 number, I don't want to spend too much time explaining how I use my algorithms to create these numbers. but I made adjustments for horses that, to show some sort of dynamic. And you can see that Limit Up has an 11-point advantage in adjusted E2. And he's second in speed figure behind the obvious horse, Kaboom Boom Kaboom. So in this 104, this is a really key number for those of you that have power pace. This is a powerful number, these AE2 numbers. And in fact, I'll show you my other horse that I picked that I was talking about, Lucky Mucho Man. When you look at Lucky Mucho Man, all right, his speed figure is only 60, but he only ran once. So, it doesn't really mean that much. I mean, he could improve by 10, 15 points today. But you look at his adjusted, he's second, right? He's got an 89. So that was his first start. So he could improve. And again, these numbers, I can't really, I don't want to spend too much time explaining how I created these numbers, but they're really, really good numbers, especially for long shots. And so you go back to this horse, Boom Boom Kaboom. Limit Up, and Limit Up, as you can see, a 104. And these are based on averages, so that means that he averaged a 104 based on his first two starts. And of course, you can see that he ran good pace figures in his first two starts, so he's facing much weaker. So I think he'll go out for the lead. He'll probably stalk the 3 horse here, and I think, I just think again, to me, again, I don't know if he's going to win, but he's the only horse I could possibly pick here. And if you go back to my Formula Pro, my new system, he is ranked second on fraction, second on pace, first on form, first on jockey trainer, first on class. So he has good ratings behind the obvious Boom Boom Kaboom, who's on for 23. So anyway, let's see how they run today. Again, they're not locks, just the way my mind thinks. These are the only horses I could possibly key in these 2 races. That's the way my mind thinks, they jump out at me. Thanks for listening, and remember to like my YouTube page and subscribe. It's a free subscription on YouTube, of course. Thanks.